he won the juniors, he won the classic, and now he's won the World. And if we could give all the champions a big round of applause as they leave the stage, Jordan Gomez, Conrad Mason, Mitchell Starr and Grant Coles.
That was a huge shock to me. I didn't think I'd win the overall, honestly. I knew who I was going up against, and I respect the people that were on stage so much. I can't even explain how I felt that day.
Bodybuilding, especially when you take it to the level of competition, you start competing, the commitment, you cannot waver at any point. Physically, you're willing to push yourself through everything.
I can see firsthand of how much it means to them. You know, and it might not be winning in a lot of cases, it's just getting to that stage. You know, and it means so many different things to so many people.
For me, it's being the best you can be. Like, just showing yourself that you can commit to something. You know, that's rewarding to yourself, because you're proving to yourself that you can do it.
Well, I was talking to a prospective new client yesterday, and she's done very many varieties and varies sports. But as I said, bodybuilding is the greatest participant in as far as gyms today are fuller than they've ever been, which is absolutely fantastic. People are welcome into gyms and are not afraid of going into gyms. Whatever their goal and their purpose is, they know they will and can achieve it once they get into a gym. But as much as they're saying that, for actual competitive participants, compared to actually boys and girls that come to the gym, is probably the smallest ratio of any other sport.
It's just wanting to better themselves. I mean, it's a really positive sort of market, because the vast majority of people, if not all people, you know, they find the gym, and then they get more and more into working out, and then they want to take it to the next level, so they start competing, and then they get more involved in the sport. So it's like a really positive area to be in. You know, this whole pursuit is something that tends to build up in people. So like I said earlier, that you know, once you start to, you want to get fitter and healthier, so you join the gym. Then you start to enjoy that process. Then you get more and more into it. And then you want to see your muscles develop, and then you want to see your posing develop. And so it's a really sort of developmental process for people. And in lots of cases, it's a lifetime of trying to be the best they can. And, you know, looking in the mirror, and, you know, every day you want to be better than the day before. And that is, you know, it's a lifetime pursuit.
I suppose I started training, you know, as a bodybuilder from, you know, 15. So now I'm a bit older than that. So, you know, we're talking 36 years. First competed in 1991. I did, well, really sort of 20 years, because I last competed in 2011. So, yeah, there's been a lot of time involved. There's never an end to it. You can always improve. Yeah, everybody talks about having their goals, but, you know, especially from a physique point of view, I always say nobody's ever going to be perfect. So there's always something to aim for. You know, whether you're competing or not, but the process of, you know, increasing muscle, looking after your diet, etc., you know, having those goals, it teaches you a lot. The main thing it taught me is that hard work always wins in the end.
Without doubt, and I mean, I'm sure there'll be people who argue in as far as actual physical work, how harder their sport is. Every sport is hard at any high level, whatever the sport is. But bodybuilding, especially when you take it to the level of competition, you start competing, the commitment, you cannot waver at any point. What you eat has such an effect on the way you perform, but also your physical, aesthetical look. And when it comes down to it, and you're actually stood on stage in nothing more than 2 stamps and an eye patch, there's nowhere to hide. There is nowhere to hide. If you are doing so many different activities, you're covered from neck to toe. So to a certain extent, if you've eaten maybe something you shouldn't have, it's okay, because you can hide that behind Lycra. Whereas this, there's no hiding place from anything. So actual commitment, how far am I away from the toilet? Am I going to be able to socialize? Will I be able to still keep my relationship? All these things actually for some people do come into play. But it can be the most rewarding thing, because you will push yourself to beyond limits and yet again, further again, do things you didn't think were possible. Good. Come on. Go on, you can do it. Give me 5. Go. 4. Go. 3. That's it. Come on. 2. 1 more. Superb. Well done.
I got into training and bodybuilding really by my father. And since I was very young, 2 years of age, I'd start, wake up in the morning with him, go into the gym, and from there it just spiraled upwards.
By accident really, just training in the gym and just stress of life, and I just sort of took to bodybuilding. Stress reliever really, because I had a lot going on at home, like I've got 5 children. So it was like sort of a little bit for me, control in what I do. I can, like the things you eat, can control that. The discipline, I enjoy that. Just thrived really from there and just live it.
It was always in my mind growing up that I wanted to be a competitive bodybuilder, but it was always something I pushed aside for, maybe next year. And it was one day when the guy that owns my gym, he just said to me, when are you going to compete? And it was my last year to compete as a junior. Last year I bit the bullet.
For me, it was literally just to kind of see how far I'd come, what I'd achieved, how far I could push myself, and just to see if I could make it to the stage and get there. So it was just kind of like for myself more than anything, and I think that's all it would be. Like for me, it was just to be able to get on the stage and experience it. It was all about seeing what it was all about and if I could actually do it. And yeah, I ended up loving it. So it's like Marmite, isn't it? You love it or you hate it.
First ever competition prep, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You really don't. No one who has anyone who hasn't done a show will never comprehend how truly doing a prep and getting to competition levels of body fat feels. So it shows a lot about the person you are, about how strong you are, and about what you can withstand, and how strong you are mentally to be able to push through when you're down, but you're chasing that goal and you're low, your energy's low, food is low. You either keep on going or you don't. And it shows a lot about, it shows someone's true persona, and what they can withstand.
It was one of those things I always told myself I was actually going to take the leap and start competing. It was something I was going to do 100% from the very start. It wasn't something I was going to do half-hearted. So I kind of threw myself into the deep end and just went all out. I put my, it's quite an unhealthy situation you put yourself in sometimes. But yes, it's what I always wanted to do, and I ended up doing it. You lose total connection with your mind, with your brain. You just, some days you don't even feel like you're alive. But if you're willing to go through those situations and make yourself feel that bad, then to win, then you've got to make the sacrifices.
You can't fail but be impressed by people that just want to win. I mean, that, certainly in bodybuilding, fitness, there are individuals who are so dedicated to winning the trophy in the show you can't fail but be, you know, amazed and in awe of those people, what they do with their bodies and how they push themselves. Incredible. So I love to see that. But also, actually, I like to see people who are just trying to improve themselves every day. And actually, those things are not mutually exclusive either, because those people that want to win also want to improve themselves day by day. It's just that they're ultra competitive. So, you know, I like to see both of them.
You know, because you can have genetics, and everybody talks about genetics in bodybuilding. You know, it can take you so far. You know, people can be a little bit lazy, and it might win them, you know, qualifier. It could even win a British title or something like that. But then to go further on, you know, to get to the top, you have to have that work ethic as well. So that's when you get the Mr. Olympias, you know, and all the other Olympia winners. They're the ones who've got the genetics plus the work ethic, you know, and I think that goes for any sport. You know, you do need the genetics to get there, but to get to the very top takes the hard work. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
There is some men and women that compete, that would train and train hard and have no intention of competing. They are incredible athletes. You can see the potential is there, but the competition of actually standing on stage is not what drives them. It's the competition within themselves. And that you can see so many. But then when it comes to competition, you will see it from the word and the minute they step on stage. Everything about them, their attitude, their ability to understand their bodies, the ability to actually show their bodies off.
To myself, I'd think, like, this is the culmination of all those months.
It's your final piece to your puzzle. You've been putting it all together for 12, 16 weeks, and then it's your chance then just to go and show everyone what you've done.
The lights just hit me. I couldn't see anything but the judges in front of me.
It's focused for me. I just like in the zone, focused.
I can't even describe it. It's so worth the 20 weeks of hell, which most people consider it hell. It is so worth that. Just those 10 minutes on stage. I can't put into words how it makes me feel.
The most important thing at any level is when you step on that stage, you enjoy every second. You've worked so hard to be there. It doesn't matter if you've taken 3 weeks, 33 weeks of dieting, you've given it everything you needed to do, you've crossed all the T's, you've dotted all the I's. If you stand on that stage and know I couldn't have done another thing, you get out there and you enjoy every second of it, because it's the smallest part of the whole bodybuilding journey.
If, like, when I've won, I just can't believe it. I just...
Doesn't quite sink.
Yeah, no.
Just really, really surreal. Like, I just kind of walked up to the middle, had the medal placed on me, and it was like I didn't know what was going on. It was just as if everything just went quiet, and I was just like still trying to process everything that had just happened.
Altogether, it took me 24 weeks this year. And to show yourself to get up and basically turn into a robot and do the same thing every single day for 24 weeks, you know, that's rewarding to yourself, because you've proven to yourself that you can set yourself a goal and you can do it. So that's the most rewarding thing for me.
I knew who I was going up against, and I respect the people that were on stage so much that I didn't believe in myself to be better than them. But when they called my name on me, that was, I can't even explain how I felt that day.
You know, do you think what people go through to get on stage, would you describe it as worth it?
Well, yes. Obviously not from a... If you think you're going to make money from competing, you're probably sadly mistaken. There's only a few people that actually do that. The question is then, yeah, why did I do it? Because I've never made money out of competing. I think actually, sorry, I won £50 in one show once. 50 quid. So there we go. That's my total winnings of my bodybuilding career. So I think you do it, one as a challenge, like the challenge just to see your body changing is absolutely fantastic. And also, you know, when you've put yourself through that and you know you're in great shape, whether you win, lose or draw, that's irrelevant. But there's friends, family that have come to see you, and there's other people in the audience that are clapping and cheering you. There's no better feeling.
I think that there's loads of benefits. You know, if you look at it from the individual's point of view, like I say, it's pushing yourself to the extreme. So it's seeing how far you can go. That's a positive thing. You know, it's really good for mental strength and physical strength, actually. So I see no negative with that. And why would it be negative for people to want the best for themselves? I don't see that as a negative at all. And I can only see positives from that. And so that's from the competitor's point of view. If you look at it from the spectator's point of view, the people that come and watch, well, that's really positive as well. One, they're entertained, and two, it acts as that catalyst for them to get more into fitness themselves. And so I think that, you know, if you're a competitor, you are giving back lots. You know, you're doing it for yourself, of course, but actually the benefits that you give to others around you are immeasurable too. And like I said before, if the more people that compete, the more people that will get into fitness. And that is the way to drive the whole community forward.
The best part of bodybuilding, there's a lot of different points. Like, one of the best things about bodybuilding is the relationships you build through it. Just meeting the like-minded people who you can bounce off, you can exchange ideas with, and you can mix with to make yourself a better person. But it's also, I think, the personal challenge and developing yourself not only physically, but psychologically as well. Because I think if you have the ability to go through, like I said, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it is hard. And if you can develop through that, it just makes you a really strong person. I think it can help you in other avenues of life as well, you know?
Flip it, what's the worst side?
Worst side of bodybuilding. Cardio.
For what you can get from competitive bodybuilding, will it be worth it? 1,000,000 times over, 1,000,000 times over. It will make you so much more confident, because at the end of the day, if you're stood there in your next to nothings for a crowd of people to watch you, to be critiqued from judges, you can do anything. If you can conquer a prep, if you can stay together with your partner, if you can get everything you can out of it, and as I say, the reward is not the trophy. That's a bonus, and it's a nice bonus. But if you get through all that, you will feel invincible, and it'll set you straight in any walk of life.